Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another live stream on the channel. Tonight, we are back with Sky Bet League One Live. A busy week in the division. We had games on Saturday. We sat down here Sunday with Jake to discuss all the things across the third tier. However, when there's some midweek matches, we normally delve into them on this channel. Now, tonight, we've got a very special guest now. Jake is an old boy these days, and we can't, quite test him to his limits. We've got to give him time off. So we're using this season to give new people a platform that maybe not been on the channel before or have been before as well. Tonight we thought we'd go for someone from a club that's had a lot going on this year, and we're going for David. David, how are we doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm very well. Barnsley fan, tell us a little bit about yourself and a bit about your club before we get into it. I always get that wrong. There we are.
Sport Barnsley. We're not that good at football, to be honest. Club's falling apart. We're going backwards every year, and I'm just very mangy.
Yeah. So you went last night, 2-2 against Wycombe. Quick thoughts before we do dive into the action.
If you tell me before the game we'd get a draw against them, I'd be happy because they're so hard to beat. One of the toughest teams in the division, in my opinion. But just for manner it happened, it was just a really awful atmosphere. I'm just so disappointed coming home from game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know if you can see and hear us okay down in the comments as well. Hello, I hope you're well. I think he's a big fan of yours. There you are. It's all falling apart at Charlton. I've got a bit of a piece on Charlton that I'd like to go on to very soon. Hello, Matt MS. I hope you are well. Hello, I hope you're all well. Let's get into it. Northampton 2, Bolton Wanderers 4. Now, Bolton Wanderers start this season poorly, to say the least. Now, Northampton are up and down. They had a great result against Huddersfield, but are that team that will win one, lose one, draw one. And that's what they want to do. It's fair enough. But being 4-0 down after 83 minutes wasn't quite on my list, David, if I'm honest with you. McAtee, a player that you know a lot about, 15 for your boys last year, getting his second in as many games as well. Not according to the EFL. I think he thought the brother played for them this week after putting a video out. Thomason with his 10th goal for the football club as well, a cheeky little lob. Dion Charles getting a goal. Josh Sheehan. Now, I said a couple of weeks ago, if you stop Josh Sheehan playing football, you stop Bolton playing football. He's now got 2 assists in that game and 1 goal, 3 assists in his last 3 games. Bolton have won all 3 games. Before that, not a single goal, not a single assist. Had 11 assists last year. Bolton 4-0 up, gliding 2 conceded late on from Guthrie and Tom Eaves. But nonetheless, Bolton have won 3 games against Reading, Crawley and Northampton that you'd expect them to do so, but good wins nonetheless.
Yeah, I think switching off at end, you kind of got to write it off. But yeah, Ian Evatt, it might be safe for a couple more weeks, but I don't think he's managed to take him forward.
Why is that?
It's so predictable when you play against them. Like he's just refuses to have a plan B. Just playing it from back, we're playing it through thirds. No matter how obvious it is to launch it forward, we've got like players like Adebayo. You can hold ball up, you can play it into him, and it gives you another option. He's just refusing to do that. But front line and McAtee and all them, but just 2 similar players. Dion Charles want to drop in, create. It just don't work.
Do you think Adebayo is big for them in a way that he gives them something else? He gives them a focal point where McAtee, Charles, Collins, you could all say are the same type of size, physique, type of player that will drop into the pockets, like you say. Whereas Adebayo, him being injured for a little while after sneezing, how you can get injured sneezing, I don't know. Do you think if Victor Adebayo, would you say he's Bolton's most important player because he offers something a bit more different?
I won't say he's the most important, but I think going forward, I need to start playing him. And you've got 3 players all in the same position, who all of them have quality, would walk into any other side in the league, but they're not playing well together. I think they've started to move McAtee a bit different now. He's starting to pick up form. Played well against Arsenal, but it's just we need to find a way to going forward to get Adebayo in or another striker.
Yeah, it was a great result for Bolton yesterday, and I think that a lot of credit needs to be mentioned to Ian Evatt and Bolton, because 3 weeks ago we were slagging them off, saying how predictable they were, that they've kind of gone back to basics. They scored 11 goals in those 3 games and won 3 games. Look, the fixtures on paper, I think they've got Shrewsbury coming up as well. They've got a couple of games you'd expect Bolton Wanderers to win if they want to at the top end of this level, but still, nonetheless, 11 goals scored. They still conceded 2. That'd be a worry that they switched off. Tom Eaves getting his first goal for the football club. Northampton will bounce back from that, and have now lost 4 of the last 5 meetings. Now I've lost kind of 4 of the last 5 midweek matches, so not got a great record midweek. Get liking down below as well. That'd be massively appreciated as well. And get your comments in with your thoughts on Sky Bet League One as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Bristol Rovers unbeaten in 1 game after a 4-game losing streak. So good to see them getting that. But they are unbeaten in the last 5 against Charlton, winning those 5 games as well. Promise on a cherry, the former Fleetwood man, getting 2 assists in that one. He only got 3 assists in his whole time at Fleetwood in 71 games. Charlton have lost 3 on the bounce. What do you make of Charlton this year, David? Because they started off really well. They weren't statistically playing well in terms of possession or shots on target or expected goals. They were winning games 1-0 like they did away at Wigan and Shrewsbury, grinding out victories like they did against Bolton at home, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. The clean sheets have gone. The performances have gone. What do you make of them this year?
Well, if you take a 30-goal season striker out any team, we're going to drop off massively. Last season, I should have been a lot higher. They should have been challenging for automatics with the squad they had. We've got Nathan Jones in now, best manager in the league. I know he's not performing and the fans turn on him, but end of the day, he's proven it before. But they're really missing something going forward. In midfield, I just think they're just not picking ball up, and going forward, they look really bad. They didn't have a single shot in that first half. And Bristol were all over him. They are a big, tough, physical team, Bristol, so just have nothing to break them down.
What do you make of Bristol Rovers this year? Because we often say on here they're wanting to go to the next level. How do you think they can go and do that? Because Matt Taylor before yesterday had lost 20 in 36 league matches and hasn't really taken them to the next level from a Ben Garner, a Joey Barton. To be honest with you, they're not performing to the level that they want to. Yes, they are playing good sides regularly in League One after getting promotion from League Two, but this squad is a good one.
Yeah, every time we play them, I come away from the game thinking these are a good side, these will be up there. I look at table and they're like bottom half. We've just got no consistency at all. I think we just need a couple of quality players who, even when the team's having a bad game, you've got a few individuals who can just pick you up and win you them points, win you 3 points over the course of the season. That's going to bring you to that next level. So it's just about investing.
Absolutely. Charlton, their next few games are Birmingham, Stockport, Barnsley, Wrexham, Exeter, Peterborough, and Huddersfield. If you are going to know a lot about Nathan Jones' time at Charlton, a lot of he wants to leave the football club. Cardiff are interested in him. He's spoken honestly and openly that it's a vacancy that is close to his heart in the past. Those are tough games. They've already lost to Birmingham this season in a cup competition. Stockport are flying. Barnsley, will be there or thereabouts. Wrexham have been performing well as well. Exeter is a difficult place, and a difficult team to play. Exeter have got the most wins away from home and they're strong at home. Peterborough, again, will be up there. And Huddersfield, if you listed that at the end of the season and said, well, that's your top 7, you wouldn't really bat too much of an eyelid. So it's going to be very interesting. Look, you can't play football with 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go when you're 3-0 down. Their expected goals was higher yesterday, but mainly down to the fact that they stopped playing, in my eyes. So it's an interesting one, and I just hope they get back to winning ways sooner rather than later. What do you think for Charlton's next 7 games? Do you think that they might do a little bit better under pressure, or do you think that it's a tough run for him?
I think last season when we started picking up points towards the end and it looked like look returning, they were getting results against the better teams. Nathan Jones is one of the managers who just knows how to outsmart a better team. I think he's more suited for these sort of bigger games. So I think Charlton will surprise a lot of people for these next 7 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Wigan Athletic have finally scored a goal. 3 goals yesterday. Callum McManaman getting a goal as well, and Dale Taylor. Dale Taylor, first goal in 15. Can you tell me where he last scored his goal, David?
Against us?
Yeah. Start of March last year, Dale Taylor's last goal for Wycombe Wanderers. 15 games later, finally gets a couple, to be fair to him. And then Matt Manaman, vintage Callum Matt Manaman, 3 goals against the Peterborough side that have already conceded 17 goals. They only conceded 61 in the entirety of last season. Now, Peterborough side that did lose Burrows, did lose Ronnie Edwards, have lost key players. That has to be said. But this Wigan side, you could go on and merit and say, well, they've scored 7 in the last 5, not conceded. They've got 3-0 nils, 1-4-0 away at Bristol Rovers and 1-3-0 against Peterborough. I think Wigan this year are going to be a mid-table side again. I think they're going to not be able to push on. I don't think they've got the quality in forward areas. Yes, Callum McManaman. Yes, you've got Thello Aysgard. Yes, you've got Dale Taylor. But consistently, can he perform? I'm not quite sure, if I'm honest with you. But he is a player in there. I remember watching him at Fleetwood last year for Wycombe, and he was phenomenal. He was the best player on the park, but just can't quite get that consistency. For Peterborough, what do you reckon they're missing? Because they've conceded 2 in the last 4 games and 9 games into a season now for a side that want a challenge. They've always been a bit poor defensively and win games 3-1 or 3-2. But what do you put this poor start down to? Was it the recruitment? Was it losing players in the summer, or genuinely just being at the start of a new cycle?
I think out of all teams in League One this season, I think we've had the toughest job in terms of players I've lost. Clark Harris, absolute bagsman as always. Mason Clark, and we went to Coventry. He's lost Burrows. That other one I've got so many players left, and they weren't even back cracking last year with all the players we had. They should have been better, in my opinion. But I've just not replaced any of them players and asking them to be in the same position. So I think I'll be sure to make playoffs.
What do you reckon on Wigan? Because it was a good reaction for them. What do you make of them for the 3-0 draws in a row they've had? Because they've been fairly tame in a lot of games. They weren't great at parts last year, but somehow always found a way.
They're just such a boring team. They just don't do enough. They're happy to get draws and just get the 0-0s or 1-0s. They've got no drive going forward. They've got no flair, no individual quality to pick them up. Not got a cracking manager. We're just there and thereabouts. They'll just be sitting just above relegation all season doing nothing.
Thank you for all your chats, by the way. Keep the comments coming live down below as well. And please like the stream as well. That'd be appreciated. Currently at 23 likes. If you can try and get to 50 by the end of the show, that'd be greatly appreciated. Dale Taylor is quality, creates chances as well as scoring. Hello, Alex. Hope you're well. Mansfield winning 4 in a row, which we will get to very, very soon. Cambridge United, 14 without a victory. 2 wins in 21 under Gary Monk. It is really, really poor. Now, they've conceded 16 in that time, just as many as Burton Albion, who are also in the bottom 4 with them. They created an expected goals of 1.13 yesterday. Now, they are creating chances. That isn't the issue. The goals, the 3rd lowest in the Division 4. Goals conceded the 2nd most in the division with Burton Albion. Possession base 12, expected goals 18. So in those key metrics, they are not doing not doing too badly. But they're just getting punished at key times. It was 90 plus 2 minutes yesterday that Sam Nombe scores his 3rd goal for the football club, and he was a regular goal scorer for Exeter, not so long ago as well. Steve Evans has now won 8 out of his last 9 meetings against Cambridge United. And that was, I think, Rotherham's first win away from home in 41 away matches. You wait a long, long time for a win. It never thought it was coming. It was bound to happen. It's a clean sheet for them. How much can Rotherham kick on from this? Not only a win, a last-minute win, a clean sheet, and the first time they've beaten a team with 11 men. Yes, it's Cambridge who are bottom of the league, but a win's a win.
Yeah, on a Tuesday night away from home that far, any team you play in the league is going to be a tough game, and to get points 3 points is really good. After that start of the season, Rotherham will be up there. I've just signed smart, all the time, just smart, proven League One players, not superstars, just quality players. Steve Evans knows the league like back of his hand. He proved it last year with a Stevenage squad that were a lot worse. I find it surprising the way they started.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you there. Cambridge under Gary Monk, do you see them? They've got a game on Saturday, I guess, away at Exeter. Do you see them, that game, if they don't win that, going into an international break? I think they were meant to have Birmingham a week on Saturday, but will be getting called off, you'd imagine, due to Birmingham's call-ups. I think they've got 4 or 5. If they don't win that, they look at it and make a change, because that will be their 4th managerial change in 12 months.
I think it's to do with the recruitment of the managers. Every time I've seen Cambridge in this league, I've just been way, way too positive. I know it doesn't sound like a bad thing, but when you're playing any team away from home, I've got no chance against them. We're playing against us last season, playing it from back and trying to be progressive, which I like seeing, but we just don't have the players for it.
Yeah, agree with you there. I struggle to see where Cambridge's goals are going to come from. Shane Lavery is a good signing. He's out for 4 weeks. Sully Kaikai's not been consistent enough. Elias Kachunga hasn't been consistent enough. They've got Danny Andrew, Bennett, the young lad that's come through the academy as well. They've got decent players in there. They just haven't got enough. Now, Cambridge, Shrewsbury's, Burton Albion's, those sides have managed a while because of clubs that are poor. Fleetwood, Aki, Morecambe, Forest Green Rovers, Carlisle. Over the years, they've all gone out, and the filter now at the top end of League One is really good. There's probably like 14 teams that you could see getting to the top end, and maybe 4 or 5 sides that you think, yeah, they can go and get 55, 60 points out. And I put in that moment, Leyton Orient, Exeter, Bristol Rovers in that bracket. I really would. Stevenage as well. I think they could be in a promotion bracket towards slightly lower of that. Wigan. And then you've got your sides, I hate using this phrase, like your Burton Albions at this moment in time, who have had a lot of investment. Shrewsbury didn't, Cambridge didn't. And maybe they're just starting to see a little bit of a deterioration. And if you don't invest, unfortunately, you don't go with the times. Reading got a great result. Now, against Burton Albion, what do you make of this one? Reading 3, Burton 1.
Burton are a good side. Every single season, I just think they've got so many good individual players. I've always got Burton away because it's such a close one, but I always find them tough to play. So I'm surprised that they're sitting at 22nd that minute.
Yeah, I agree with that. Burton now lost the last 3. Now, they were drawing games, and often with them, you kind of think, well, are they going to start turning these draws into wins? And when I think they drew the 4 of the first 5, they lost their opening day against Lincoln, and they drew 4 in a row, where they drew Northampton, they drew at home to Stevenage, both were 0-0. Went away at Mansfield, drew 3-3, where Mansfield scored a 95th minute Lee Gregory penalty, who is an absolute pain to play against at League One. I think he's on 67 League One goals now. He's 19th in the all-time rankings. And then there was another one that they drew. I think Rotherham away, it was 2-2. Good point, that. And then the next game against Barnsley, where they 1-0 down, and then you get a late goal, and then you go and nick it. If they win that game of football, all of a sudden you can say, well, they're unbeaten in 5 under this new regime, and they've only lost on the opening day of the season. They lose it. They've now lost the last 2 games after that. And you're now saying, well, they've not won in 8. This new regime, it's not working yet. I think Robinson's 28 games without a win, as a manager. Burton Albion, as a football club, have won 2 in 22 games. And you look at that, they beat Stevenage away, Reading last year. But before that, it was Bristol Rovers away and Leyton Orient away, where they won back-to-back in January last year. Reading at home. How good are they at home now? Back-to-back home wins, 4 wins out of 5 at home, won 16 out of 27 now at home. It's a tough place to go, isn't it, the Medeski?
Yeah, I don't get how we're so low down. I know we had all the points deductions and everything last season, but again, just another one of them sides who just underperformed and just didn't get points when they are a good side and should be up there.
Absolutely. Keep your comments coming. Let us know who you support and your thoughts on your season so far. Comments will be greatly appreciated, and keep liking the stream as well. That would be fantastic. Reading's away form, has slightly let them down in recent weeks. It was good to see Kem Campbell get a brace, and Sam Smith also had to his goal. It's his third goal of the season, but 12 in his last 20 League One matches for Reading. Danilo Orsi scored his second of the season, adding to his tally, doubling his tally, a goal off the bench. Mark Robinson is in the mindset of results will quickly turn. Burton Albion fans behind them. It's a new team, 8 games in. They've had some tough games in there when you look at it. Rotherham away, Mansfield away, just come up as well. It's been a tough period for them. They will get there, in the end. They've had a hectic period, to say the least. Shrewsbury 0, Stockport County 2. County have come up, from League Two. You saw them on Saturday. What have you made of their season so far?
Very good. They played some very good football. We got Louis Barry, he's just a joke. We got some experience heads in there. Ollie Norwood, what a signing that was. I didn't think he played too well against us, but from when I've seen him play against other teams, he has been good. He's a really, really good signing to have in this league.
Yeah, agree with that. Now, here's a stat for you now, found on X before. So thank you very much for the Stockport fan page that put this out. Stockport County are now in an all-time positive goal difference as a football club. Back in 2015, after a poor period for the club, it went down as far as minus 300. Kyle Wotton's goal in the 88th minute yesterday finally put them to a positive goal difference. His 4th goal of the season and his 30th goal in a Stockport County shirt in 95 games for the football club. Shrewsbury only 1 shot on target now in the last 2 games, or none in the last 1.5 games of football. So the last 140 minutes of football, pretty much no shots on target. They've currently got the second lowest expected goals in the division. Only Crawley have worse than that, and currently have the lowest shots on target per game on 2.7. Now, I went back to have a look at Paul Hurst. He's been in charge, I believe, 30 games now since coming back to the football club. In his first 31 games, his first 11 games back after Matt Taylor gets sacked, there's normally a pickup of a boost of, a new excitement around the football club. They won 4, drew 2, lost 5. They beat Northampton away on their opening day under him. They beat Port Vale, they beat Carlisle in there, and they got a really good win in there as well. Couple of good points in there as well. And then after that, they've had some good points in there as well. They got a point away at Bolton where they drew 2-2. And there's been good moments in there. However, in their last 21 matches, it's been really, really poor. They've lost 10 games in that period. They've lost 10 of the last 20 games, winning 3, drawing 5 in the last 18. What do you make of Shrewsbury this year? Because in the summer, I put them bottom of my table. Where did you kind of have them? And are you maybe surprised they've done as poorly as they have?
But I thought they'd stay up me. They're one of them teams who play awful football and they're good at it. They're so hard to play when they're at home. But they just don't have that quality anymore. Like when we played them last season away, midweek, we dropped points to them, and I was expected because I just sat back and couldn't break them down. They don't have that quality anymore, and they just need to start getting forward a bit more. That sort of Wycombe style football does not work if you don't have players on the other end of the pitch who's going to drive on, give you some chances. They've never ever looked like scoring.
Yeah, and that's my worry when you're relying on the likes of John Marquis, when you're relying on the likes of young Castledine, who is a great player in there, but you can't rely on. I don't think there's too many leaders in that lineup. Rossiter's a good player, but he's injured too often. They are a poor watch. Their ownership probably needs to change there as well. Roland, their owner, has basically invested 2.1 million in the last season, I think it was, and has now claimed an extra 10% share in the football club because the club haven't paid it back. Well, how are you when you're not going to win games of football? It's a club that is being toxic to watch at the moment, I'm being told. So it is poor. Shrewsbury are a decent club. Stockport County are a good side. It's a great away win for them. When you look at the 3 wins in the last 21 games that they've had, Carlisle, Port Vale and Leyton Orient. Carlisle and Port Vale got relegated last year. Leyton Orient 3-0, great win, to be fair to them. So that has been it in the last 21 games. 3 wins for me, not good enough. Not good enough at all. You know, I struggle to see where they're going to go. I really, really do. I'll be very surprised if there's 4 worse teams in them. I don't think I can name you one worse team. I think Crawley have got a better spirit and they've got a better play style and they play better football than them. I wouldn't want to watch Shrewsbury at all. Talking of Crawley 0, Mansfield Town 0. Oh, sorry, Mansfield Town 2. Sorry, that is Mansfield's 4th consecutive win on the bounce. 4 wins where they scored 2+ goals. You saw them on the opening day of the season. They were good that night. They kept Barnsley at bay. What have you made of them since your trip to it? Well, what did you make them on the opening night as well? Because I thought they were excellent.
Before I start the season, I had them challenging top 6. I played some really, really nice football. Yeah, but I thought all the teams who came up really should have been towards top. Wrexham, Stockport, Mansfield. They just all look so good. And you look at the rest of the league where there's just so many declining teams in League One who are just like sitting and not doing out. I think League One and League Two at minute and National League as well. There's so many of these teams who are just bouncing up and up and up. There's very few teams who go up and go straight back down. It's all about this like rebuild. It's a bit of a trend that minute. So I had good hopes for him. I saw him play some really, really nice football at Oakwell. But then, you know, they've lost Davis Keeler, who he's a joke for a player. He's so good. But they've seen him to doing well without him, which I'm really surprised about.
I think they're doing well without him because, yes, last year he wasn't the centre forward. He wasn't, but he was the main man. He was the main man for goals and assists. But that's freed up other players, the likes of Lee Gregory. But they've got an experienced squad. When you look at it, what you get from a Cloughy side, Cloughy sides are good players. They are players that are individuals that work as a team and they make each other better. Now, you look through that team yesterday. Evans is a youngster that's come from the league below. I think he scored 25 last year in all comps. Gregory's experience. Boateng is an absolute unit. And I put him as one of their most important players for what he offers. I really like Reid in midfield. I think he's excellent. Louis Reid. Lewis McLaughlin on one side as well. You've got Keanu Bacchus, who I thought was one of the signs of the summer. I really do, from St Mirren, when I've seen parts and heard things about him as well. Bowery, Cargill as well, who's experienced at this level as well. Christy Pym, who has been peppered a lot, that he might make a mistake, but he makes 8 good saves to a mistake. And that's the thing with Christy Pym. And look, if you ask what Lincoln think of him after his performance there, he wasn't great, no, but he's been excellent in every other game. And I bet you the 2 points he might have cost him for mistakes at Lincoln, he's probably saved them 6 points in the last 2 games for his save as well. So they're doing really well. In terms of expected goals, they're up there. But yesterday they won it without having an expected goals of, over 1, 2, 3, or creating loads of chances. Yeah, 5 shots on target, created expected goals of 0.70, and was in the game, and they won the game 2-0. I have spoken about Wigan. It was around about 10, 15 minutes ago as well. So Wigan were on there as well. Mansfield, really exciting to watch. Won 5 of the last 7 as well. Won the last 4. Crawley appointed Rob Elliott as manager. Now, this raised eyebrows when Scott Lindsay left. Was you surprised Scott Lindsay left after the upheaval of the transfer window, after losing, I think, 8, 9 of the first 11 and a lot of other squad players? Scott Lindsay going to MK Dons, an attractive job offer. Was you surprised?
Yeah, I thought they had such a promising team who could have maybe even finished top half this season, but when we played away against them and we were 3-0 up at half time, I was talking to one of our fans. We had only 10 players playing against us who were there last season, a new manager. Any team who goes up and loses a manager, loses that many players, you're going straight back down. They'll be back on the table this year. But MK Dons, I feel like they're the sort of team who might be trying to build something, but they're messing about their owners now. We've got a new owner in. I feel like they will be building something and they could be challenging for championship in a few years. So I can't blame him for wanting to go to a better opportunity.
It was a great appointment in Rob Elliott, I thought. Now at Gateshead, he got them to the playoffs last year and got them to the final of the national, like the kind of the FA Trophy. Now did really well there. The former Newcastle goalkeeper. You don't see many goalkeepers. I think Nuno was an ex-goalkeeper as well, and to be fair, he does kind of park the bus and sit in the goal when Forest normally go a goal up. In his management style, so it's good to see it takes from his playing style. Rob Elliott did really well at Gateshead. Again, jumped ship, moved a couple of divisions up, plays a similar style of football. Do you think it's an appointment that can keep them in the division?
You could get Pep Guardiola in tomorrow if they're not staying up. They are 100% going to finish bottom of the league.
I think they've got more of a chance than 3 clubs currently in the division. I think they've got more of a chance than Shrewsbury. I think they've got more than a chance of Cambridge, definitely. And I think they can go and finish above, another club minimum. I really can. They've got to be aiming to be on the basis of we're Crawley, we're small, there's not much about us, but this is the way we play. Welcome to our house, our rules. I've been disappointed with them at home. They've not won in 6 now there as well. So it's disappointing, but they will get there in the long time. I think as well. Stevenage 1, Wrexham 0. Hollywood couldn't quite get the result in this one. Good start for Wrexham. 1 win in 4 since. What have you made of their start to the 3rd tier?
Playing good football, and every single game I've seen them in. They've deserved some points except Birmingham game. But people are thinking Birmingham game are going to be this big turning point and dropping form and everything. No one's going to beat Birmingham this year except with so much luck. I think Wrexham will 100% be up there challenging Arsenal this full season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Stevenage back to Stevenage, back-to-back home wins now, both winning the games 1-0 in that one. Last goal for Louis Thomas actually came at Wigan away on the 27th of January. 0.80 to 0.55 expected goals, 3 shots to 1 on target. Wrexham now not scored in the last 2 away games, away at Leyton Orient at the weekend and away at Stevenage. Stevenage back-to-back wins, good result for them. 4 wins in 5 at home for them this year, stamping their authority. They need to be better at home than they were last year. They'd have won a couple more home games last year. They'd have been in the playoffs. That's as simple as that. They only won 10 last year at home. They were good away. This year, they seem to be really good at home and not so great away from home. So maybe that was kind of Steve Evans' style. Break up play, win 1-0. At home, it's not really suited, whereas away, it's perfectly suited at this level as well. Wrexham will get better. It's 1 defeat. They've lost 1-0 on the road. It's been a tricky period for them. Birmingham away, the hype around that game, they didn't even think they'd be in that situation when the fixtures came out. They're doing really well. They will be in and around that top 6 at the end of the year, I think, as well. For Stevenage, I really like Alex Ravel. I think he's a young manager. He plays good football, and he'll be more than up there this year as well. Leyton Orient 0, Exeter 1. Great result for the Grecians on the road. How impressed with Exeter have you been this year? Because I remember when they beat you in January time last year, they've got the most wins away from home in the EFL on 9 now this year. Their first win away from home this year as well. Good result for them. 4th win of the season. Last year at this stage, they were top of the league with Port Vale. Well, Port Vale got relegated and Leyton Orient Exeter soon dropped off. 5 wins in the first 8 last year. What followed was 10 defeats and 13. Do you think this year it's more sustainable?
Yeah, they're sitting 10th at minute Exeter, which is a really good position for them. But I think we only are so high up now because the amount of teams who haven't kicked on. If you look at the teams who are there above now, there's like Huddersfield, Rotherham, Orient sort of sides who are going to kick on really soon. So I don't see them staying up towards that end of the table for that much longer. But I think we're like 14th sort of area. But they're just a farm team. They'll go like weeks where they'll just win, and then we'll go weeks where we'll just not score a goal and be awful. But yeah, they're just fair and thereabouts team.
Yeah, Exeter on the road this year, beating Bristol Rovers, Barnsley, Wigan, Lincoln, Shrewsbury, Charlton, Port Vale, Northampton, and now Leyton Orient, making it 9 wins on the road for them. For Leyton Orient, 2 points in the last 5. No wins in 7 at home, drawing 3, losing 4. It was a Richards goal at the back post. It was a nice little tidy finish. And expected goals of 2.42 for the Grecians to 1.93. So plenty of chances in the match. Again, really, really happy to see that Exeter getting up and running, because Gary Cole was in trouble last year. They stuck with him, gave him a new contract in August this year, and even results since then have been good. It just shows you when you're a club ran by supporters and you don't make rash decisions and you stick by a manager, because he's been in that job now for 2 years, coming up at the end of this year as well, where he's first started off at Derby away, and he's made a big, big impact there. They've gone from a side that's certain to go down to probably anywhere between 11th and 16th there. You don't think they are going to go down. Michael says, Callum McManaman's goal last night was the goal of the season. Graydon looks a different player. He does as well. Up the Stags as well. Please keep your comments in below as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know how your team got on yesterday as well. Birmingham 1, Huddersfield 0. The train goes on, David. Birmingham win again, 1-0.
Yeah, it's unstoppable. But what can you do against them? They're £1 billion super team. They've spent like 30 million more than anyone else. They shouldn't be in the league in first place. There's just not what you can do.
Do you think this is the greatest team to ever grace League One?
Yeah, because there's been countless teams who are too big for League One, spend all the money, like Sunderland's, Wednesdays, all them sort of teams I just can't stand. These have actually backed what they've said. The players they've signed are smart. Like Alfie May, just obviously he's going to score 30 goals a season. But then we've added Jay Stansfield as well, just for a laugh. It's a joke. They're taking Mick out of the rest of the league.
Jay Stansfield has now got a goal contribution in each of his 4 games so far, scoring in his first 2, getting assists in his last 2, getting assists for Alfie May yesterday, getting the winning goal as well. 4 home wins in a row for the first time since 2016, 12 unbeaten for the first time since 2010. And when they scored the first goal at home recently as well, they're not doing too bad. They've won 6 out of the last 7 there as well. And Blues have won 7 in a row for the first time in 78 years. So a great result for them. What do you make of Huddersfield? Because great start, won the first 3. The only goal they conceded was a penalty to Stevenage. What's followed is 6 defeats in 7 or 5 defeats in 6 in Sky Bet League One. What do you make of them? Because they've fallen apart yesterday. 30% possession, 0.47 expected goals. They look dross. I watched them against Blackpool and they didn't create a thing really.
Yeah, I was looking at the game against Birmingham. I've been following them because I've stole a couple of our players. But the recruitment's been awful. Ladapo is an awful signing. All the fans already turned on him because he's really lazy. He's just Michael Duffy likes high pressing football. Why they've gone and signed Ladapo, I have no clue. He's brought in Herbie Kane, who I thought would have been good. He was good under Duff. He was our best player last season. Despite what our biased fans will say, he's been awful. He can't get a game. He looks about 20 kg overweight. But the recruitment, I think, is what's let him down this year.
What did you make of Duff? And are you seeing similarities with this? Because normally a Duff side are a slow start and get better. Well, they came quickly out the blocks. Yes, you can say they played Stevenage and Shrewsbury at home, but the Peterborough away performance was a good one. Are you seeing similarities here? Like what is it with Duff? Because you know Duff better than a lot of others. So maybe you could tell me about Michael Duff. Why do you think he's struggling so much? Is it something he's doing? Is it something that he's didn't not learn from his mistakes at Barnsley?
He just needs time to click. I think his pressing football is very good. I think he's one of the best managers if you want a high pressing team. Swansea job, that was from second he signed, that was a stupid decision. This slow build up, possession, very slow team in Swansea, giving it to Michael Duff, who he's very stubborn. He's going to play football he wants to play. So that Swansea was always going to go tits up. Huddersfield, they've against like the Dapo, that just shows that they're not backing him with the players he wants. He don't want this lazy striker. He wants someone who's going to run and win ball up high. But he just don't have them sort of players in his squad at the minute.
They are thin on the ground up there as well, in my eyes. I know they've got young Callum Marshall, but other than that, really, that I think are going to press and really Chroma. I don't think he's consistently good enough. I really don't. I think that he could have gone out and got a McAtee. He could have gone and got someone of that nature as well. You mentioned pressing strikers there as well. Devante Cole, he had him for a while. Did he have Devante? If he had Devante Cole pressing, then he needs a medal.
Yeah, Devante Cole is an awful footballer. I don't even think he's made an appearance for West Brom yet. Might have made one.
He's made one and one in the cup against Fleetwood as well. Please keep the likes coming as well and get the comments in. We're going to do a Q&A very soon as well. How many points do you think Blues will get going on to them? They are going to get over 100. I genuinely apologise now to all Birmingham fans for basically saying you're going to start slow. I thought they'd start slow because it'll be everyone's cup final. And, it'd be a new adaptation for them. And by starting off for the first maybe 8 games of the season, they'd win 5, lose 1, draw 2. That's what I meant by 16 points. Look, they've got 22 points from 24, and I don't think I think they probably play well in 3 games. And by play well, I mean 10 out of 10. In a lot of games, they're playing an 8 out of 10, but yesterday was probably a 7 out of 10. Still had 20 shots. Still won the game. Still kept a clean sheet. That's standard. Really good from Birmingham. I like them a lot. We've had to keep you waiting. Barnsley 2, Wycombe 2. Barnsley, now your weakness is, everything at the moment, according to Darryl Clark. Your issue is that for a long time have been the first 15 minutes, the last 15. Actually, the 90 minutes at Oatwell, basically. But conceding too many goals. You played Wycombe last year, I think, in November. You won 1-0. Sam Cosgrove scored that debatable goal. Since then, 1 clean sheet in 20 against Darryl Clark's Cheltenham at the time, funnily enough. Why is it Barnsley keep conceding lots of goals at home? What is your home form about? Because in the last 28 games, you've only won 10 and drawn 10 and lost 8.
I think we're the most cursed team in terms of we have these stats that haunt us. Last season, it was when I think it was 500 days where if we conceded first, we didn't win a game. I think we won whoever we beat at home of the week. That was his first home win since February. We've just always curses on his back. Yeah. In terms of his defence that minute, Darryl Clark again, he don't know his best 11, playing 3 back one day when it's a 4 back. But we don't have any out and out full backs. Those wing backs are all bad at football and can't defend. Mark Roberts is Asian a bit, showing his age. He had a good start, but he's really, really dropped off. I think I keep saying I think we need a flat back 4 because if we're not going to sign players, we need a flat back 4 with 4 centre backs, and that's the only way we're going to fix our defence.
Yeah, agreed. Donovan Pine's in there as well. He's an absolute unit. Do you think he could be the problem? He could be the solution to the problem, shall I say? Because he's kind of just coming. He's been in and out of the team when he's kind of come in due to injuries. Didn't start the other day, back in the other day, keeps changing it. I think Donovan Pine's a big unit at this level. Can, not only for your own box as well, when you get set pieces that Barnsley over the years have been good at. Adam Phillips, Luke O'Connell. You've got good set piece takers.
He's the best, worst footballer I've ever seen. The 2 American lads we've got, they can't kick a football. Sleena, our goalkeeper from Chelsea, kicks out every time he takes a goal kick. Donovan Pines on a football, he scares me. If it's anywhere on the floor, I don't want it near him. I only want him for the headers. But defensively, I think he might be the best out-and-out defender in the league. But everything else he's not good at. But I absolutely love him. He scores so many goals. We've never lost a game where he's played. Still, and I've got a bet on where if he's our top goal scorer, which wouldn't surprise me, I've got to go get a bald eagle tattoo.
Lovely.
I'm kind of hoping he drops a bit far.
What about other defenders? Josh Earl, ex-Fleetwood. What do you make of Josh Earl? Because Simon Jan with a lot of hope. I'd be very interested to hear what you think.
He's really overhated by our fans. He's too positive on ball sometimes. He gives it away.
He love a step over.
He's not done many, to be fair. It's just he does that he comes inside instead of playing it safe around the outside. He comes inside and plays it into danger. But yeah, I like how he's positive on the ball, but the players around him aren't wanting to set the ball off him. He's very good in the air. His first 2 games for us against Derby and Bolton, we thought we found a gem. He's been so good in them games, but I think he gives the ball away a bit too much. He just needs to learn how to just get rid of it sometimes. But I like him. I think we've played a lot left wing back a lot this year, and I think he's been good there. But he's very overhated by our fans.
And what do you reckon of your attackers? Because you had to wait a while for Keeler Dunn and Stephen Humphries to come in. Humphries now 2 games, that he's scored in have both been off the bench. More of an impact player, maybe. Roberts getting his second goal yesterday from the back as well. Do you think there's enough there to challenge? Because when you've got midfielders like Adam Phillips getting a goal contribution every game at this moment in time, you've got Luke O'Connell pulling the strings as well. You've got options in there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I think up front and at our defence are his only problems. We've got best midfield in league. So many good options on the bench as well. We need to drop Sam Cosgrove. You've told me before the stream I'm not allowed to swear, so I'm not going to talk about him too much because I really don't like him. We need to start playing Stephen Humphries, but he's got fitness issues. I don't even think he can play he can't even play a full half at minute. But every time he comes on, he scores. Very, very good hold up player. His feet, he's got really, really silky feet. He scored about last minute when against Burton. He scored a really, really composed goal yesterday against Wycombe. I want to figure out a way to have him on his own up top. We always play with two up top. It don't work. I think 4-3-3 is our best option going forward.
Yeah. Agree with that. Now, Wycombe are a good side. You mentioned them. Coney getting his 4th goal of the season in 12 games, as many as he got in 21 last year. Good to see him, scoring goals regularly. Labala as well, adding to his tally. Wycombe as well, continuing the trend of scoring 2+ goals in every game. That is now 18 goals scored for the Chairboys. A delight to watch. They thought they netted the winner until a late goal as well. They're a good side, Wycombe. They'll get better as games goes on. And this start has been good. After a tough period, unbeaten in 7, even in those games they lost, they still scored 2 goals to Birmingham and Wrexham, and they were the top 2 for the first part of the season, and Birmingham was still top of the league as well. Really like the way Wycombe play. It's legs, hearts, minds, Burnley sense of football, but a good play style now. They've changed their identity a bit. They're not as long ball. They can throw one in there. They know this league, but they're a good team at this level. Blackpool 1, Lincoln 1. Talk to me over this one. 2 sides that want the playoffs. Steve Bruce going into the Seaside and for the first time not getting maximum points.
That red card, I think that killed Blackpool more than it killed Lincoln. Blackpool were all over him before that red card. We got the goal, and then as soon as that red card hit, which is a really stupid red card, Adam Jackson, former Barnsley player, he's done the same foul twice, just lunging against the striker. Easy yellows, he's just asking to be sent off. But then they piled on the pressure, Lincoln, and then direct from a corner, last kick of the game, just heads it in, completely unmarked back post. Just really, really poor goal to concede.
Do you think Blackpool can sustain this? Because you look at it, 5 unbeaten and nobody in League One has got more points than Blackpool at home since the beginning of last season. Obviously, Portsmouth and Derby going up can't add to theirs. Barnsley, you'd imagine would be not great at home. Bolton, 2 less points on 54 points. 50 last year, but only getting 4 this year. Blackpool really good at home, winning 16, drawing 8, and only losing 4 in that time. And only 1 loss in the last 16 at home to Stockport the other week. Before that, it was December where they lost at home to Northampton. Do you think Blackpool's home form is enough? Or do you think away from home, where they haven't been great over the last kind of 12 to 18 months, do you think Blackpool can be here to stay? Because if they can get the likes of Kyle Joseph, Ashley Fletcher got the assist yesterday as well. They're not really happy with him. I think he's ex-Barnsley as well.
Yeah.
Do you think they've got enough in that forward areas?
Yeah, I think I really like Kyle Joseph. I think we've got good players in midfield. I really like Albie Morgan. He was brilliant against Lincoln. He nearly scored a really good goal. He was playing some really, really nice passes. Created a lot of chances. So they should have scored a lot more yesterday. Blackpool, they had so many chances to put the game to bed. Back losses on them for sitting back after other team has 10 men and just not putting the chances away. With Ashley Fletcher, he's turning 29 today. He's never has been a goal scorer. He's played in Championship all his career without scoring goals, but because he does everything else around here, but he's just not done that at Blackpool. He's a physical threat, but he just hasn't been at Blackpool. They're all complaining. If you're looking at all the fan reactions, saying he's not won a single head every season, he's just not getting himself about. But I feel like Steve Bruce is the sort of manager who will get something out of him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs a bit of love. I think that's what he needs. He needs an arm around the shoulder because there is a player in there and he can explode. He's good as a youngster in. You see bad things about you and Fletcher's playing again. You don't want that at all. But Lincoln are 14 unbeaten away from home, drawing 5, winning 9 of which, and every defender that have played for the Imps this season have scored a goal. Thank you to the Stacey West podcast for that one as well. Go and check them out over on their platform as well. Hamer with a goal on his 25th birthday, sending the Imps home very happy, and another good point on the road, backing up a 1-0 victory the other day as well. In the forward area, I'm a bit worried for Lincoln. Now Ben House is out for a sustained period of time. Jan van Makama, you look at Freddie Draper. Is it enough? Street, I don't think they've got a lot of 10 goals a season types, but they don't have a 20. They don't have a Joe Taylor like they did last year as well. That's what they're missing. If they had a Joe Taylor, I think they could easily challenge for the kind of the upper echelons of the playoffs as well. I really do believe that. So Lincoln are a good side. They're solid. They're hard to play against. Scabala's got them playing. He's a good coach as well. As we come into the last kind of 5-10 minutes of the show, please get some Q&A questions in down below for us both to ask, maybe about Barnsley or League One in general. But before we do so, David, you go and plug your social medias where people can go and find you.
I'm going to start uploading on YouTube. I need to get back on it. So, Dav Boom on YouTube, and then say on TikTok, Dav Boom. That's where I do all my stuff mainly because I'm too lazy to actually make content. And I've got a second account on TikTok now, so mine gets banned because TikTok keeps trying to delete all my stuff. But that's non-football at Dav Boom 2.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. Go and give that a check out as well. So keep your comments coming. Ask some questions down below as well. Birmingham City is still top of the division as well. And it's unbelievable, isn't it? Where do you see the top 6 finishing at the end of the year, out of interest?
Pull table up now, I'll tell you. Because there's a lot of teams. There's Charlton, Huddersfield, Rotherham, Borough. They're all below 13th. There's a lot of teams waiting to kick on. I think it's going to be
you look at it, Blues are 5 points clear of Wrexham with a game in hand. Wrexham 17 points. The playoffs currently consist of Mansfield, Lincoln, Stockport and Blackpool. Now, between 4th place and 15th, there's 3 points in it. So it's very hard to read on October the 2nd. But then you could go on another hand and say, well, between 1st and 20th now a 7 points gap. So there is a bit of a gap building from, you're looking at it from about 18th from who's got 10 points, and Northampton have only got the 8 points. Where do you see the top 6 finishing in your eyes?
I think it's going to be a lot different to what it is now. Or if you look at the teams in the top 6 now, all of them. Birmingham's had this massive bounce because they're owners. Wrexham have been on the bounce for 3 years. Mansfield bounced on promotion. Stockport, they've had a bounce. So all the teams who are lower down, I think, will kick on. Bolton, Rotherham are too good not to be top 6. They will be top 6. Huddersfield, I'm not sure. I think if I give Duffy time, make some signings in January, they will definitely be in there. But I'll say Birmingham and Wrexham 100%. Say Rotherham being there.
Oh, really? You think they're going to turn it around?
They've just got so many good League One players for the most League One side. They're going to go up and come straight back down.
Yeah.
Because they're not on the champion, like extra that next step players, but we've just got a lot of players who are good for this league. But yeah, you just got to give it a couple more weeks, see how the table comes. And I think this January is going to be really interesting. But I think this is the most competitive League One I've ever seen. I think from 17th to 1st, you can make a case that any of them being top 6.
What about going down? Who are you seeing in the bottom 4 struggling this year?
Crawley 100% will be bottom. You can't play this attractive style of football when you've lost 10 out your 11 starting players from the year before and your manager. Against us, they had 73% possession in a 3-0 loss at home. I think that tells you everything you need to hear.
It's their play style, though, isn't it? As a DNA, as a football club, I think it's how they got up. They'll live and die by it, and that's what they've signed players for. So it's really hard to adapt mid-season to a long ball game. So I can see why they play that style, though.
Yeah, but I think Burton, Shrewsbury, them sort of teams who will come and play awful football and sit back and score a late goal, they are more likely to stay up than a team like Crawley, and that's just how football is.
So you're on Crawley bottom. Are you going to join them?
Cambridge, think Shrewsbury will finally go down, and I think Northampton. But there's only really Northampton and below are the only teams who can go down. 18th and above are so safe.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. That's fair enough. A couple of questions for you here as well. What's your thoughts on Matty Craig? Oh, God, here we go. Oh, this is threesome here.
Oh, Matty Craig. What a player. What a player. He turned it round that day when, as soon as he joined them, but I'm at 10-game bounce of winning. Our fans aren't, a lot of our fans aren't rating him high enough. He's absolutely held us together. Every time he's not played, you can see he can look all over the place. He's a really good organiser. He's going to make it to the top.
Hello, Charlie. I hope you're well. Thank you for checking in, mate. I hope you are well. If you could like the show as well, we're currently at 46 likes, so 4 away from the big 50, and we're currently 27 subscribers away from 15,500 subscribers as well. So if you could subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Is there Dave Broom better than Ryan Broom?
Is that who plays for Cheltenham? Dead ball.
He used to play for Cheltenham. Plays for Fleetwood now, yeah.
Dead ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Humphreys came on at my team, Wigan. What a player. Was really sad to see him go. Surprised to see him going to Barnsley. He's a championship player. What have you made of Humphreys so far?
James Norwood, but better. I absolutely love him. We need, like I said earlier, we need to figure out a way for him to play 90 minutes or at least like 60 minutes. He's our best out and out number 9. He's better than Sam Cosgrove, who's the worst footballer to ever play football in the history of football. He hold ball up. He's got really, really good silky feet, and he's composed. I've noticed with the goals he's scored, he's not shaking. He's just flat out hits the ball, picks a corner. Just a really, really good number 9. I'm really excited to see him all this season.
Ryan Broom is one of our own. Oh yes, he did. Yeah. A quick question, because I asked you this before. Darrell Clark, talk to me. Is he the right man for Barnsley? Because he's a workman's like and he's honest, maybe too honest at times. He's pulled the players out away at Lincoln, away at Man United, away. And then recently, yesterday, he said something on the lines of, I don't know my best team, my best shape. Is that down to the manager as well as the players?
It does this thing where we'll play one half 5 back, one half 4 back. You say this about
is that adapting though? Could you say is that adapting for the team you're playing?
That's just him trying to be different. I don't think it's anything to do with tactics. It's just him trying to be his thing. But when you're talking about when he's being honest in these interviews, he's not. He's throwing all the players under the bus. That's not helping anyone. He's took no responsibility. Where there's been so many times this season, his subs and his tactics has killed us. He's doing this thing what the politicians do, where they'll say something really obvious, like children should be given more money. And I was like, yeah, see, he's being honest. Anyone can point out obvious signs. It's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, agree. Do you think, be honest with me, do you think that he needs a bit longer than a year's time? Because he's coming to a squad that isn't, in my eyes, I don't think it's a top 6 squad. I think he's up there. I think it's in the top 10. Agreed. If I go to this list, in my eyes, Birmingham, Bolton, Huddersfield, Rotherham, who I know are behind you now, we're 9 games in. Lincoln, I think, are without even a Wycombe at this moment in time, and that's without mentioning a Blackpool, a Stockport, a Wrexham, a Reading, a Wigan, a Charlton, a Peterborough, who are maybe on your level. Do you not think you're in that next bit of cycle where you're maybe below where you were previously, and you might just be kind of coming to terms with building a process around the manager rather than... I think Darrell Clark, long term, if you trust him, could do a good job, although he's never had the opportunity at a big club before.
Yeah, I liked him at the start, but I'm just really getting annoyed with him blaming everyone else and just throwing players under the bus. It just feels really negative. His interview, he said, is looking to see who's a top 6 player. I mean, the next game says not one of these players is a top 6 player. When you're setting them up all wrong, mate. You just got to take some responsibility. I think we should keep him. We can't keep changing managers. I hate this modern football thing of blame the manager. End of the day, the players aren't good enough. They're just not. But this is the best side we've had. Sorry.
So go on, carry on, mate.
This is the best side we've had in League One. The team we went down with, I think, was just not that good, but the rest of the league wasn't too bad. Last year was the worst squad I've ever seen for Barnsley. And then I think this year we've improved, but everyone else in the league's improved.
Can I ask you, when he said something along the lines of, I think I've got 7 or 8 League One top-end players. For me, at that time, I don't think Keeler Dunn was a player for you at the time, or Humphries wasn't in the building. So take them out. The obvious ones are obviously Luca Connell, Phillips are 2 that you'd say as well. And then you'd be looking at potentially a Matty Craig as well, maybe as a 3rd. But after that, I was struggling to think, well, who's his others? Because realistically, won't be on about Conor Horahan, who's basically a coach now. Is he on about, a young lad? I don't think any of the strikers, because Marsh is a young lad. Cosgrove, obviously, as you've been saying, is good enough. Humphries wasn't in the building. Max Watters isn't good enough. It's as simple as that. Defensively, who would you list? Who do you think in his mind, not your mind, but maybe tell me your mind, it is 7?
I think our keeper makes a lot of mistakes, but he's a young lad. He's going to make it to the top. He's really good. Pines, just because he does his job well, is the best footballer ever. The midfield 3, all because we've got best midfield in league. Them 5. Keeler, I don't know if he's counting.
Don't say that. I've said that. I said that about Barnsley, and I had the mafia on me.
Oh, we're in the chat now. Don't worry, mate.
Oh, I've already had the Birmingham fans call me Gollum after that. I said that.
Well, I can't say out when you're from Bro. Come on, man. Yeah, but I think about them 7. A lot of our players are very good at specific things and like system players.
Yeah, I agree. Peake is unbelievable, by the way. Like, I genuinely think Peake is the best player in League One. I think he's phenomenal. I really do. And Iwata is a player that I didn't know too much about until recently, I'll be honest with you. And he's come down and he's really got better as games on, whereas Peake kind of was here. I'd say Iwata was maybe about here, and kind of the levels have just gone up. And then Peake's slowly, they're both undroppable. They really are. And Mel de Givenley, I didn't say his name because I can't physically pronounce it. That is the only reason I didn't pronounce his name. I think for him, he's very, I don't know. 1 minute he's a 9, the next minute he's a 5. That's one thing I will say on him.
He's had a very good season this season. I think he's improved his game loads. He's quite small for a defender, but I think he's very good in the air. On the ball, he's not afraid to drive forward. He does have a very good ping on him. A lot of fans get on his back again. Like, I think any defender who plays for Barnsley or goalkeeper, it's so tough because you make one mistake, you got all fans on the back. Our fans absolutely hate us trying to play it from back. Second, the goalkeeper keeps it to a centre back. You got the full Pontian behind you booing you. So
Oof it, long Barnsley. Oof it.
What's all his bollocks? Like, yeah, but I love MDG, good player.
Centre forward. Anyway, David, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, go over to his platform as well and give him a little follow. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for coming on, mate.
Oh, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for the opportunity.
And yeah, thank you for everyone that's watched at home. This has been the midweek League One Live. There'll be a few of these during the season as well when there's full match weeks or games on as well with different presenters as well. Thank you for watching. Please leave me a like on your way out. And until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.